right. And we are live. Good morning, everyone. Today, bring your receipts. That is our word today. Bring your receipts. What does it mean? It means if we are going to go backwards in our lives into our memories, bring forward the things that you are proud of. Bring forward the things that you have accomplished. Bring forward the things that make you feel good. This is how you keep track. This is how you keep score. Because what we tend to do, and it is no fault, there's no blame, it is just something to be understood. We tend, when we reminisce, to go or lean towards the bad things. We tend to reflect upon our shortcomings. We tend to reflect upon our hurts. We tend to reflect upon the injustices. And like I say to my boy, we have two choices. We already know how it feels to look back on the things that do not make us feel good. We know how that feels. But there's also something. If we know how that feels, we also know how the other one feels. So which one would you prefer? Because if you think about it, whatever that thing you give your attention to, you are you're whispering its name across time and space. You're saying, "Come to me, darling. Come hither." That's what we do with our memories. But that is the design. So when you know what the design is, use it for your benefit instead of to your detriment. Yeah, but Angela, it's easier to look at the injustice. You know why? Because it gets you fired up in some way, shape, or form. It'll either make you cry or make you angry. But either way, you're fired up. So which direction do you want to be fired up in? This is the most important part. We get to choose. But you see, sometimes we choose based upon the previous habit. However, the habit can be overridden with enough emotional push. This is why some people have the capability of looking at a situation and saying, "Ugh, enough of that. I don't want that anymore." And they stop. We call it cold turkey. We call it cold turkey. So we have the same capacity to do it in the opposite direction. We have that capacity. We have the capability of doing it. Because you and I know full well it doesn't feel good to sit there and go, it doesn't feel good. So why do it? So bring your receipts. Go through all of your receipts if you're going to take time to reminisce. If you're going to take time to remember and recall things, choose those memories wisely. If you should encounter a memory that's not so fun, you catch what you're doing and say, oh, I see what I'm doing there. Yeah, that happened. But it no longer can dictate my life. That's what you, that is what you get to do. You have to use your power, your tenacity, your strength, your will, your intention to push through something that's a little bit sticky, through the bramble and the bushes. You do not have to sit there and take it. Because really and truly, nobody sees what's going on in your mind at that time. They only know based upon your behaviors. And when they see your behavior, they don't judge you based on your thoughts. They judge you based on your behavior because it's all they can see. So take the time and be bold with this. You have the capability. You have the capability to do it. You do not have to sit there and accept something that stresses your mind. You don't have to take it. You don't have to accept it. Who's doing it to you? You are. You don't have to put up with that. If you find that you come across a thought that is unsavory, see it for what it is. It is a memory. And after you've looked at it, and you're like, oh, you know what? This doesn't serve me. This is making me feel crummy. And how do I want to feel? This is the law of polarity. Always remember the law and use it for your benefit. Because whether you think good, bad, or indifferent, the law is active. So why settle for mediocrity in your thoughts when the law is always saying to you, what do you want? Do you want to be elevated? It is always saying that. How do you know? Because polarity will always ask you, where are you now and what are you doing? Do you like it? And if you say, no, I don't, then where would you like to be and what would you like to be doing? And start doing that. Because when you start doing that, you begin to open up a way that was not there before. It wasn't there before. But the possibility of it was there. You see, there are many possibilities. So why stay with the one that is unsavory? Because it's familiar. That's why we stay. We know how it's going to turn out. That's why we stay. But what does the law of causation tell you? If you know the cause, you can do what? Predict the effect. So if you know what it is you want to experience, well, then it is possible. That's why we are not prisoner or captive to our thoughts. We are the observer of them. Watch them when they pop up. And you determine right there and then, is this a benefit or a detriment? And if for some reason you forget, that's why I say bring your receipts. Go back and look at all of the things, however small they might be, that you have accomplished already. Because when you become your own hype man, when you hype it up, you are moving yourself towards where you want to be. That's what you're doing when you bring those receipts. So when you have the other type of receipts, you drag yourself down. And that's not what anybody wants. We don't want that. So then the law says, put your eyes in the direction of where you want to be, where you want to go. Why is that? Because if you're driving and the steering wheel is facing forward, the wheels are facing forward, and you are looking back, there'll be problems. So always look towards where it is you want to go, which includes your thoughts. Listen, I understand that it is challenging, especially when we've been stuck in one frame of mind for quite some time. Somebody asked the question, how do you know when to let go? My only response was, then you've had enough. I can't tell you when to let go. But when you look in the mirror and you say, enough, I'm done. You see that burst of energy? It now pushes you or thrusts you in the direction you want to go in. Because you've looked at the thing and where you are and you said, I've had enough of that. That's what we do. You are worth it, and you are valuable enough. You don't have to earn anything. The law doesn't sit there and say, well, I'll take 30 pieces of silver for your success. It doesn't do that. What it does tell you is choose where you want to go. You have the power and the capacity to do it. This is why, if you reminisce, look at the good. When you reminisce, recall the accomplishments that you have done. This is critical to our success. If you continually look at your failures, well, we tend to repeat those. But if you look at your success, you are invigorated, you are encouraged, and you say, well, Angela, what if I've never had a success? Really? I'm sure there has been at least one. There always is. And if you would see it, just simply see it. But sometimes we belittle the small things. We say, that was so insignificant. I can't even call that a success. Yes, you can. Because that's what we do with our quote-unquote failures. They aren't any failures. Because we must remember, your receipts are proof of what you have done. That's what they are. They are the evidence. What sounds? Effects, manifestations. They are the effect of what you have done. That's why you look at them. And if you look at something and you say, ooh, I didn't quite want that, or what do you want instead? The receipt is not there to just remind you, oh. No, it's saying to you, is this good enough for you? You want to rise a little higher? That's what it's doing. But we want to look for signs. You are the sign. You are the sign. You're the receipt. It is always going to be you, because the universe is a mental creation. It is a mental creation, day in and day out. So make sure today that if you're going to go back into the recesses of your mind, you better be bringing up something worth bringing up. Recall the things that are valuable, whatever things are good, whatever things are honest, whatever things are of good report. Think on these things. Where is Cyber to tell me where that scripture is? That is what we do. Why do you think that was written in there? Because somebody was bored? No. It was there to remind you. Always something there to remind me. It was something there to remind you of what to do when you forget. Whatever things are good, honest, of good report, think on those things. Think on them. When you think about something, you give it your attention. And when you give it your attention, you experience it. We've all had that person call us and we say, oh my God, I was just thinking of you. I was just about to message you. Those are not coincidences. It is law. It is law. Let us take a quick moment to welcome everyone into the space this morning. My dearest Tiara, welcome. Ruru, I see you. I know Jeff, you'll be here, and same for Cuddles. But Twitter, I see you. I see you, Twitter. Welcome. Fan base, who do we have today? We have The Essence, we have Matthias, Miss McQueen, Oracle Treehouse Summer Rose, KZ, Yolanda, Zola, right here on Fanbase. Thank you for the love, y'all, and thank you for being here. Who's on Facebook? Probably Indy. And who's in YouTube this morning? Oh, the better man. David, Sherelle, Empress Ella, Ms. M, and oh, um, Levozio? Is that how I say it? Levozio Vivo. I have never said that name before. Unless, of course, you have a different name on a different platform. But I've never said your name before. Welcome to the space. I trust you find it beneficial. So, this morning, as you go through your day, take your time, and when you recall something, when you bring out your receipts, let them be good things. Because when you think about this for a moment, when you look through the lens of the good things, right, you begin to see quote unquote mistakes and how to fix them, how to adjust yourself, how to adjust your thinking. I wonder why that happens. Because if you're looking at something through rose colored lenses, right, they are beautiful. So when you see that mistake, you say, oh, I know what I could do to fix that. I'll behave like this instead. You know what it does? When you look at those quote unquote mistakes or shortcomings, it removes the judgment. Judgment is vile. It will blind your eye. You don't judge. You look at the situation and you say, oh, well, what does the law say? The law says, oh, I can do this a little better. Let me see what I can tweak here. And you begin to tweak and change your behavior, your thoughts. And then once you've done it, you say, oh, that was nice. That was good. Why? Because when you are judged, it sucks the life out of you and you don't want to do anything. But if you look at the thing you want to accomplish through the eyes of the law or your good experiences, then the things that kind of poke you will say, oh, you'll see it for what it really is. It's not a punishment. It's not a penance. It is, oh, a stepping stone. Those are what we want. It sheds light on your path when you recall the good things, when you recall the pleasant things. And like I said, there is always a good thing somewhere. There is. Just wait and it will show itself. You don't got to go rummaging. It'll come. This is the encouragement for you today. Bring those receipts forward every single time. When you want to be tempted to say, oh, I'm such a failure. How am I not so good as this other person? No, you bring up the receipts and you say, I'm good at this. I'm good at that. I did this. I accomplished that. And you just make it rain with those good things. Because when you make it rain with those good things, you buoy yourself. Oh, what's that mean? Instead of sinking, you float to the surface. That's what you do. You float to the surface. And when you're floating on the surface, what do you see? Everything in the distance. You can see land in the distance. So the encouragement again this morning is to simply see the good that is there. Look for them. They're right there. You have good qualities. But of course you do. There is only good in the world. It is the forgetting that one is good that causes us to act a fool. I'm very serious with that. When we forget, then we begin to do things and like, Oh, why would I do that? Because you forgot how valuable you were. To who are you valuable? You. Whether someone likes and appreciates you is irrelevant. Oh, but Angela, we're community based creatures. Of course we are. But however you see yourself, by way of law, as within, so without. So if you value and appreciate you, then you will experience it on the outside. You cannot call it forth if you don't call it. So you have to have it within you first. Think about how beautiful that is. That nobody has the capability to crush your spirit. Nobody. Nobody has that capacity or capability. When we forget that the law of correspondence exists, then that is when somebody's low thought of you can pop in there and make you feel crappy. But when you remember that it is your concept of yourself, nobody can hurt you. You know why? Because there's no hole in the ship. Think about that for a moment. A ship never sinks, right? It's on the water, it's floating. But put a hole there and allow that water to seep in. Then we'll have problems. Which means the thing from the outside, right? That's not where the power is. You are the ship. And you're the captain of this ship. That's what you are. Maintain it by setting it on its course that you want it to take. Instead of having somebody come along to tell you, that's not possible. Do you know what makes something possible? Again, bring your receipts. Do you know what makes something possible? The fact that you just thought about it. I'm not talking about sprouting wings, people. We're not birds. We're human. Right? You have the capability. You have the capability to propel your life in the direction you want it to go so that you can be successful. That's on you. It took me a while for that one. You did this to me. This is your fault. You know that meme when somebody wants to buy something that they think, oh my God, where was that my whole life? And you say, here, take my money. Right? That's what we do when we allow somebody else's nonsense to seep into our lives. We say, here, take my energy. Take my brain power. Just consume me. That's what we say. Every time you have that memory about that person or that situation that was not nice, and you give it your attention, you're saying, here, just take my energy, take it, I don't need it. That's what we're saying. Is that what you want? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. So this is your encouragement today. If you will reminisce, make it a good one. Make it a good one. What does Neville Goddard say about regret? Oh, nothing eats you up more than that. Regret. We don't want that. Look to the good things and begin to list them off. Because when you do that, the more you list off, right? The more you list, the more you'll get to list. Because that's what you're looking at. You are looking at it. So wherever you put your attention, is where you are going to experience something. Not because I say so, but because it is law. You do it all day, every day. You do it all day, every single day. You do. I might be tempted today to do a live stream on the word resentment. You know why? Because I told you, if you're going to look back, make it something good. Because when we don't, those things have a way of creeping in. And they creep in and they infect. This is why Neville Goddard, when he tells you, when he said, you won't regret those things because you'll reinfect yourself. Because they pull you down. So today, as you are walking through your day, driving through your day, skipping or dancing through your day, whichever way you want to do it, remind yourself. Anytime an unsavory thought comes up, look at it through the lens of the law. And when you look at it, right? Bring something up. Look at it through the lens of the law. And you will see how to change. And you will begin to maintain that change and sustain it so that you become the new man. That's what you'll do. Well, I'm beginning to think of Mozinga. That's the word I was thinking. Resentment is an expert creeping emotion. Luvozio Vivo said that. Because we don't tend to see the resentment. This is why if you look back, you must choose something good. So that when the unsavory comes up, you can see how to change without judgment. It is a beautiful thing we've been given. But because we don't know it, because we haven't heard it before, we don't know that it's there. That's what I tell you. When you don't know that the law is there, we do dumb shit. When we don't know that the law is there. When we are noscient of the law, not knowing, not aware of the law. But now that you are aware of the law, your receipts will show you how and where you are lined up with it. And if you see that you are not quite lined up with it, don't judge, don't beat yourself up. Look at it again and say, what do I need to tweak here? So that you get what you want. This is why manifestation is the law of correspondence. As within, so without. It is also causation. You have to be able to see what you are doing to know if that is what it is. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's how you know what's on the inside. When you see the evidence on the outside, the receipt. So today, begin. Begin to hold your receipts. Begin to do that. And you lift yourself up with them. Yeah, I did this. I did that. Oh, I was lined up perfectly here. Yeah. How do I get back to that again? Oh, and you start doing it all over again. Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, gender. Those are the laws of creation that govern us all. Those are the laws. Yeah, but how does mentalism? You think. Because the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. I saw this thing This girl, she was doing crafts. So she was building her bed frame. You know what she did? She sat there and she sketched it out. Where did she sketch it from? Her mind. And after she sketched it out, she went out and got all the materials required from Home Depot. And what did she do? Built her bed frame. She showed you each step along the way. Where did that start? I should really make my bed frame. I wonder what I want it to look like. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. So how do I know? Because I saw the evidence. As within her mind, I saw the image of her, laying on her bed, showing you the frame that she made. A vibration. Something had to move her to do it. Well, she wanted to. Polarity. She had to go back. Because let me tell you, when she was getting out the machinery for this, she goes, oh, this is a lot of work. Why did I do this? So she had to go between why did I and oh, I love this. I really must complete it. And every day she got up. And whether she had to use the circular saw, she had to sand something, she had to glue something, she did it. Every day she developed a rhythm. She got up at a particular time and she worked a particular amount of time. And because she had that image in her mind from the desire to make something with her hands, the effect, well, was what? The bed frame. Now, where's gender? She had the image. She had the thought, oh, I should do this. And the minute she sketched it, it was from where? Conscious to subconscious. And from her subconscious mind, it gave it back to her. And you know what her next project is? The archway at the front door. I can't believe it. So you see, those are the laws right there based upon that one thought she had. She didn't say, I'm speculating. This is too hard, I can't do it. No. She said, oh, this is hard, but you know what? I know what I'm doing. I've got the sketches. I'm good to go. So much so that when she completed her first task, she already had the second one lined up. So when she was making her frame, anytime she made a mistake in there, right, she would fix it. How did she know how to fix it? Because she had plans. She had the drawings. She had the specs. She looked at it through the eyes of what she had sketched there. She did not look at it, oh my God, I'm so dumb. How could I mess this up? No. That's not how she was looking at it. She was like, oh, let me tweak that so I can get it just right. That is what we do on a daily basis. Artists, dancers, songwriters, lyricists, movie people, theirs is way obvious because we see the finished product, yes? That's why theirs is more obvious. But don't be fooled that you're not doing it. You are doing it because we all do it. It is law. So did you think she woke up one morning and she said, I'm a master carpenter? Oh, there was a lot of practice and learning in there. But it is the desire. Not whether she thought it was possible or impossible. There was the desire. So she learned and she practiced and she fortified her skills. That's what you and I get to do on a daily basis also. It may not be with woodwork, but it's with something else. So this is why you put in the practice. She gave it her full attention. So what has your full attention? That's what you're creating. So when I say bring your receipts, go back and look at all of the things you've accomplished because they will help you to move forward, to do more things. And it's not the doing of the thing, necessarily. You know what it is? You're witnessing your own power. You are witnessing your own greatness. You know what you're witnessing? You're witnessing yourself saying, I would like to experience this thing. And then you experience it. You are seeing that you have the ability to call those things that are not as though they were, and then you watch them become. That's what you're doing. You see, the thing is only there because it has to show itself. Correspondence, as within, so without. But you are showing yourself who you are and what you are capable of doing. But you see, we get caught up in the thing. We get caught up in the thing. The thing is irrelevant. The thing is just showing you who you are and what you're capable of. Or it's showing you where you need to tweak it so you can rise. That's what's happening. You're always seeing you. And if at any time you see yourself and you say, I don't like it, what are you going to do? Are you going to judge it? No. You look at the behavior you deem unsavory and you get out polarity. What does polarity say to you? Where are you now and what are you doing? And you answer the questions. I'm here and I do this, this, and this. Oh, and I don't like it. Then polarity says, where would you like to be and what behavior would you prefer to do? Now you write them down. Do you not have your solution? Your solution is right there in blue ink or pencil. And you say, fine, then I will get up and I will do these new things and I will behave in this fashion. That is how we change. As opposed to looking at the thing you're doing and where you are and cursing it. You'll always stay there because that's what you're looking at. But I don't know how to change. Well, we learn. You see, we have a unique capacity, to learn. And if you don't know how to do something, I'm sure there's a book written on it somewhere. I'm sure there's someone who's done it. There's 8 billion of us. Someone has done it before. But we don't have the excuse to say, I don't know how to change. Yes, we can. If we apply the law, we can change. So you're not good at saving money? And you don't know how to do that? Well, I'm sure Unapologetic can help you out. I'm sure he can. Because that's his forte. That's his skill. So if you don't know, you learn. And because when you learn, what do? You get up and you apply the same knowledge that you've learned. And now you become wise. Wisdom is the application of the knowledge that you've acquired. This is what it is. So when I say bring your receipts, you bring your receipts. You go back and you look at all the things you've accomplished. Look at them. Because they will hype you up to accomplish more. They are showing you, hey, you did that. You know how awesome you are? You just did that. You see, you did that one last week? Man, you know what kind of focus you had to have to accomplish that? And you begin to feel good and hyped and pumped up. And you say, yes, I can. I can do something else too. Let me see what I'm capable of. And you begin to push the limitation. You begin to push them backwards so that you can do what? You can become better than you were yesterday. Not because George is your competition. We don't have competition. We don't have competition. It's not about anybody else. It's not about a race. It's about what are you learning about yourself as you do these things? Because there's only the self. When you see what you are capable of, your self-confidence increases. Your trust in yourself increases. You begin to say things like, oh my God, I didn't know I had it in me. Well, now that you know, you can't tuck it back away. You've got to keep using it. Oh, what else is hidden within me? What other treasures can I find? That is what the law teaches you about yourself every day, all day. And you notice there's no big stick that says, oh, you didn't get that right. No, nothing of the sort. There's no punishment, nor is there a reward. There is simply, oh, I did it. Well, I didn't quite do it the way I wanted. Let me practice. Because remember, we don't try. Try implies you could fail. But practicing means you can only get better at what it is you are doing. And that's why I say this morning, bring your receipts. If you're going to look back into your life, you better be looking at the things that are successful. You bet. Why? What does scripture tell us? Whatever is good, whatever is honest, whatever is of a good report, think on those things. What does it say to do? Think. Think on those things. Why? Why would you want to think on it? Because if you're thinking on it, it has your attention. And if it has your attention, you are molding and shaping yourself to match it. That's what you're doing. So you might as well make it a good one and shape and mold yourself after those things that are good. Because there is only the good. It is when we forget the law that we act a fool. That is your word today. Lavoisio, Magic Class 101 right here. You're awesome. Ray of Sunshine. Oh, it's good to see you. And Bree, welcome. I see you, darling. Unapologetic. I see you too, baby. Veiny, the essence, beautiful. Hey, how you doing, y'all? You see, I just want to remind you of that. I just want to remind you of that. You have these things within you. Shea butter. You have these things within you, these treasures. And if you would but just sit there for a moment, you would see them. Do you know how good it is to find a treasure? You simply say, Eureka! That is a beautiful thing. That will raise not only your self-confidence, but it will raise your what? The catchword of the day, your self-love, your self-appreciation. Because then you will begin to see for yourself how valuable you are. Not because I tell you you're valuable, but because you have the evidence of it. I don't see it, but you do. Because you're the one touching it, molding it, and shaping it. You are. You. And so when you see it for yourself, we become these Care Bears and we do what? Project. Law of gender. We project. That's what we do. Now imagine if we all had a beautiful concept of ourselves and we projected that into the world. I wonder what the world would possibly be like. But you know how it gets there? One person at a time with their best concept of themselves. That's how we're getting there. One person at a time. Because each individual is the whole. Each individual. So you see, don't get it twisted today and think that, I don't have any value. If you say you don't, I cannot convince you that you do. It is you who must see it within yourself. And the beautiful thing about it is, if you look for it, you'll see it. Oh, indeed you will. And remember today, law school starts tomorrow. Law school starts tomorrow. You want to learn how to use the law and be most efficient and effective with it? Well, then, my link tree is there in my description. Click on law school. And let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yeah, let's get it started. You know why? I'm sure most of us want the best out of life. And we want to create long lasting legacies. But we have to remember the legacy does not stop with money and property. The legacy also, think about it for a moment, when we say things like generational curses, yeah, that's a legacy. But if you learn the law, you can uproot those things and plant new generational things. This is what the law does. So if you can leave a legacy of money and property, you can leave a legacy of right thinking, right action by way of law. You can also leave that legacy, because without that legacy, look at us now. Without that legacy, then we continue to pass on the things that are unsavory. And I tell you, you and I both know that those generational things are far, far reaching. Our ancestors had no idea that we would be here. So we don't know who's coming after us. So if we pass down this knowledge of the law, well then, are you in good hands? Yes, they will be. So that is what I want to leave you with today. And you know I love you. And you know where you can find me on YouTube for the last remnants of gravy from the bowl. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3. Twitter, I see you, Keisha. And Tiara, darling, thank you for being here on Twitter. Yay. I will see you. And remember also on Tuesdays at 9:45 p.m. we have Feeling the Thought, because we hit the bowl. The Tibetan bowl. We hit that and we begin to unwind and relax and allow our bodies to be soothed with that beautiful sound. 2. Twitter, I love you. Twitter is closed. Fanbase, beautiful, veiny, de essence, unapologetic, my Melanin, Matthias, Oracle, Treehouse, Miss McQueen, KZ, Summer Rose, Yolanda, Zola. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your love and your appreciation and your time and your attention. I appreciate you very, very much. You know where to find me. 1. Much love. Yeah, I'll see you over on YouTube. YouTube, Facebook. Just you and I. It's us. I won't keep you long. There's so many beautiful things that we can accomplish and learn about ourselves. So much. If you find yourself in a place and you're like, oh, I will say this to you, because science has proven it. Not just, random willy-nilly science. This one is actually common sense. Your brain can't see. Your brain can't hear. Your brain can't taste. Can't touch. So what's doing all of that? Oh, your senses. So your brain, in essence, is doing what? Taking your word for it. So that means you can tell yourself what you want to hear. That's what we can do. Yes. So if you tell yourself, I'm not good enough? Your subconscious mind is like, okay, you're not. I mean, you say you're not. And that usually is accompanied by a feeling, isn't it? And so now your subconscious mind is like, oh, you don't? You're not good enough? Okay. Let me see what I can do to help you out. And it starts showing you the evidence of what you said. And then the first thing you say is, you see, I knew it. No, it is only confirmed because it is inside. It is only confirmed because it is inside. As within, so without. So what are you going to put in there? What are you going to put in there? That's why I say to you, you choose. Choose what you want to put in there. You guys got me flailing my hands about and hitting things because I'm fired up. This is what you get to do, to tell yourself. Empress Ella, I see you, beautiful. You get to tell yourself these things. Whatever is good, whatever is honest, whatever is true. Good report. I should find that scripture so that I can read it instead of paraphrasing it. Very cyber. Oh, tonight we have Lance. We're talking about King Solomon tonight. That's what we're talking about. Philippians 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And the New Living Translation says, and now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts. Listen to that. Fix your thoughts. Focus then. I know sometimes when we hear scripture, we clutch our pearls. But I tell you, the law is in every holy book there is. The law is in every holy book. That's why when we talk about King Solomon tonight, we'll see the law. This is what I'm trying to say to you. You don't have to, let me read, David. So I know someone that was in lockdown in another country. I refuse to see that person in that condition. The person is free now. I even saw that person protected while in lockdown. And he told me he was treated kindly. You see, exactly. We have the capability, Neville says it. Don't wish for anybody what you wouldn't want for yourself. Yeah? A Bayesian thing. The golden rule, they call it. You have the capability, because these are projections. That thought, ties, tidbits, that thought that David had about his friend, right, didn't stay in David's mind. By way of the law of gender, it was projected from conscious to subconscious, and thereby freedom ensued, because that's what he projected outward. He wanted freedom for them. He wanted the best for them. They experienced it. So you see, it's the same thing. If we walk around, I hate this heifer. What do you think is happening? Okay then. You heard me. So remember what it says. I really actually like the New Living Translation. Is there? Oh. The King James says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever. He says, whatsoever things be of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. But the New Living Translation says it best to me. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Bring your receipts. That's what we do. So, like I said, if you're going to go back and think about things, Philippians 4, verse 8. Philippians 4, verse 8. That's what we do. You see it for yourself. And the manifestation, the thing that comes about, the effect or correspondence, is showing you what you did, is showing you what you are capable of. That's all it's showing you. That's why people say the world is a mirror. But of course, it is based upon the reflection. What image is there to be reflected outward? So if the thing is honorable and true and pure, what kind of a reflection are we guaranteed by way of law? You feel me this morning. That is what I'm saying. Bring your receipts. I ain't gonna keep you longer. But I thank you all for being here. If you have any questions about law school, and so for all who signed up already, just make sure and check your emails, because I'm going to be sending out a link today, right? And if you do not have the KYBALION yet, there's a link in the description that says purchase KYBALION. Go get it. If you don't want to buy it and you just want the PDF, send me an email and I will send you the PDF, because you're going to have to read it. You have to read it. We'll do it a chapter at a time, of course, each law. But you have to read it. Because then it's in the reading you begin to comprehend things. You get your questions, and then we answer those questions in the learning. That is what we do, because we're going to be thorough. So that when we move from here, it is the application of the law wittingly, as Neville Goddard calls it. Meaning consciously you're looking at your life and saying, how am I going to be? I want to do it this way. Consciously. So you're using the law of gender now. You're using that conscious thought and you are projecting it into your subconscious mind, is what you're doing. The law is absolutely brilliant. It is beautifully just brilliant. So I encourage you, if you haven't signed up yet, you got time. You got time today. So check out the link in my Linktree below for that. And 2190 is almost over. So if you missed 2190 and you want to start it, just let me know. Because it is also there. Right? But I leave you with that this morning. Bring your receipts. And remember, fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Because if we did that, right? Do you think we would seek the most banal of entertainment? Delroy Hart, is the KYBALION fact or fiction? Oh, that is a beautiful question. The KYBALION is fact. How do we know for certain? Because the laws that are contained within the KYBALION are the laws of nature, not the laws of man. What are the laws of nature? Mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. We create from our thoughts. That's one of the ways. Humans, we procreate as well, which means I need one of me and one of you, and out pops another one of us. Procreation. But everything starts within the mind by way of an image. And the thing that is within the mind shows itself on the outside. That is the law of correspondence. How do we know that? It is the seed that we put into the ground. You may not have planted your neighbor's garden, but you know exactly what's growing in it based upon what? The evidence of the fruit that he grows in his garden. If you see tulips, he planted tulip bulbs. As within the seed, so must the fruit be on the outside. Well, vibration, everything moves. We think we hear words, but in actuality, we were taught words. What we hear is actually the vibration going across the tympanic membrane, your eardrum. That is vibration. Everything moves. Polarity. We have hot and we have cold. We have wet, we have dry. We have left and we have right. They're simply separated by way of the vibration. It's just the vibration that gives them, whether they're gases or solids or liquids or light. It is the vibration. That's polarity. But you see, we also have a rhythm. We have an ebb and a flow. We have high tide, low tide. We have all the phases of the moon. Ask any woman. She'll tell you where the moon is at any given time, because she's in sync with it. That's his rhythm. And we have causation. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. If you do this, well, that will happen. Gravity is a surefire way of understanding causation. But then we also have gender. Gender seems to be the most confusing one for people, because we want to equate gender with male, female. It gets there because of as above, so below, right? We create by projecting, which is masculine, the thought from the conscious mind, meaning, oh, I have an idea, the light bulb goes on. That is a projection, so it is masculine. But where does it go? It goes into the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is dark, and it grows things like a womb, and then it pops it out for you by way of an experience, a manifestation. As within, so without. This is how when you plant a sunflower seed and it grows so beautifully, I don't even know how many feet tall it gets. You know that yellow is a sunflower. Well, I couldn't have planted corn and gotten a sunflower. So now for the as above, so below, the below part is we all project. We all project is what we do. And we all give birth to our experiences, because that is mental. The universe is a mental creation. But because we are in physical forms, we must procreate. So again, the male plants the seed. And the seed, how do you know what seed he planted? Based upon the sex of the baby. He planted the seed. So whenever labor happens, oh, it's a boy, it's a girl, you know what seed was planted. As above, so below. Delroy, does that make sense to you as about what's fact or fiction? I know it takes time to type. It's okay. I don't even know if you're still here, Delroy, but that was a great question. You see? So it's not, I'm not giving you information that is, unbelievable. I'm giving you the information that you see around you all day, every day. That's why when you look at the laws of creation, that's what I call them, the laws of creation. They are the principles, the hermetic principles, right? I'm giving you fact that you already know. Because that's why we say things like, oh, you reap what you've sown. Well, you can't reap what you haven't, right? So yeah, it's not opinion. You look around you all day and you see the evidence of the principles of creation. You see them. And so how do you apply those principles to your life? That's what we're learning in law school. So if you want to learn how to apply mentalism, you want to learn how to apply correspondence to your life. How do you plant a particular kind of seed? Those kinds of things. We also learn about the type of soil you deal with in your mind. Because that soil is the concept you hold of yourself. So you see, the person who uses the law consciously can only recreate themselves. You're only ever recreating yourself, as within, so without. So now in law school, we learn how to find what we are so that you know where you're creating from. So when people say, oh, I never get what I want in life. Oh no, it's not that you never get what you want. You get exactly what you are. So we learn how to do that in law school. We learn how to not take offense in law school. We learn how to forgive. We learn why forgiveness is important in law school. There's so much we learn there by way of law. And so that's why I tell people I don't give an opinion. My opinion doesn't matter. What matters is what fruit do you want to eat? But then you have to plant those seeds. And that's why Philippians 4:8 matters. You see, we think I'm not reading scripture to you because I'm telling you to believe in Jesus or not to believe in Jesus. I'm reading you that scripture because it is law. It is the law of mentalism right before your eyes. It is telling you to fix your thoughts on what is true, what is honorable, what is right, what is pure, lovely, admirable. Why? Because as within, so without. What you think about persistently, you are projecting into the womb. And what you project into the womb is what comes out. That's what that scripture is telling you. I don't have any evidence of Jesus. What do I have evidence of? Sunflower seeds, tulips, bamboo, oak, acorn. I got the evidence of that. I can speak on that. So I'm not here to tell you who to believe in, who not to believe in. I'm here to tell you, you reap what you sow by way of law that governs all creation. You are created, I am created. And don't think because we can't see these laws, or they look invisible, we can't see them? Really? You can't see them? What did you plant in your garden this year? You can see the laws right before your eyes. It is one thing to see the law, it is another to learn to apply it. And so that, what makes me an expert on it? Oh, expert. Lord Jesus, give me strength today. Student. When one teaches, two learn. This is my role in the world. So I'm equipped to do it. Because it's my role in the world. When you find your role in the world, you are equipped to do it. You don't have to guess that you can. You don't have to doubt that you're capable. We don't stumble upon things. We come into the awareness of things. That's what happens. You have yours, I have mine. This is what it is. So I invite you to click on the link and we'll do law school. Because it is relevant for the world today. Oh, it sure is. And it's been here this whole time. And we're seeing it. It's so in our face. But we can't see it until you become aware of it. The awareness of a thing. will change your life. Anywho, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I love you. Delroy, again, thank you for such a beautiful question. Mind you, everybody, we always ask these beautiful questions in this space anyway. You guys just do. You just ask such compelling questions. They're beautiful questions. And so I want to say thank you for spending your time with me this morning. An hour and 10 minutes already. Lord, have mercy. Go forth and whatever is good, admirable, true, honest, beautiful, think on those things. Because as within, so without. That is your word today. I love you all. And I'll see you tonight on Lance Scurv, where we talk about King Solomon and the law. Oh, yes. King Solomon. Much love, everybody. Much, much love.